Good evening and welcome to the Municipality of Monroeville Zoning Hearing Board meeting for Wednesday, August 3rd, 2022. Will everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please be seated. And will everyone please silence their cell phones, please. Sharon, roll call, please.
Mr. Rosapel, Mr. Griziak,
Here.
Mr. D'Agostino,
Here.
Mr. Gatos.
Here.
Ms. Wilkins.
Here.
Mr. Dice.
Here.
Mr. Weldon.
Here.
Thank you. Our chairman, Jim Rosapal, is under the weather, and we wish him a speedy recovery. I will entertain a motion for the minutes for our July 6, 2022 meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion to approve. Do I have a second?
I'll second that motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All new business, please.
First item tonight is 22-23-A, Sierra Kaufman. Applicant requested dimensional variance from section 210 fences of the Monroeville zoning ordinance number 1443 as amended to construct a 6-foot tall solid fence in the front yard of the property that faces Miller Alley. The property address is 1815 Miller Avenue, tax parcel 640B269, and is a through lot in the R2 one-family residential zoning district. And what a through lot is, that means there's one property that has a road in the front and the back.
Is the applicant present? Can you please come forward, please? Sign your name and state your name and spell it for the secretary, please.
My name is Sierra Kaufman. That's SIERRAKAUFMAN. It's spelled wrong on the paper, by the way. It's
What
one
is?
F.
Okay, sorry about that. Would you please raise your right hand and repeat after me? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
I swear to tell nothing but the truth. And, sorry.
You just have to say I do.
Oh, I thought you said repeat. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
I do.
All right, please state your case.
So I would like to have a 6-foot solid fence. And what is my backyard? I understand how it's coded. It's technically a front yard, but it's in the back of my house, and it would be my backyard if there wasn't that alley back there. One of my main reasons is for the protection of my pet pigs. Once I have my fence up, they should be able to roam their entire yard, and it's dangerous for them if they only have a 4-foot fence, because they're considered prey animals. So there could be, if there's a loose dog in the neighborhood, if there's like coyotes or something, they would be able to get over a 4-foot fence and potentially harm, kill, eat my pets. I know they're not the most conventional pets, but they're my pets. I've had them for 5 years at this point. And I treat them like they're my dogs. I'm sure anybody else that has a dog would not want their dog to be hurt. I think it's reasonable that I am allowed to have some privacy in my backyard. I understand it's a very friendly neighborhood, but my 2 porches, I can still socialize with the neighbors. I can go in the front yard and everything like that. It's not like people are walking through my yard, and that's going to cause a problem. Even with the 4-foot fence, it has to be 50% covered. So then that also puts my pets at risk for people trying to put food through the holes and things like that. There's been plenty of cases I've seen on the internet of people trying to poison people's pet pigs because they think that they shouldn't be pets there. But I don't think that's correct. Yeah, but that's about it. I would like a little bit of privacy in my backyard, and I would like my pets to be protected.
Anything else?
No, I think that's all.
Ask you how many pigs you have.
2.
They big pigs?
Yeah, they're decently large. Oscar and Nigel are their names.
For the record.
Yeah, they're very sweet. They just like to hang out in the yard and sunbathe, eat some grass. Very calm. They don't make any noise.
And we had a picture up before, I don't know if we can put it back up, but it was like a green solid, is that part of your property?
Yes.
And is that what you're looking to replace with a more permanent fence?
Yeah, that's just that's like a temporary pen that they're in until I can get the real fence for them. It's driving them nuts being in that small little area. They like to walk around.
What kind of fence are you looking to put up?
I would like a wood fence, like pine.
Any questions? Anybody in the audience wish to speak on this matter? Seeing none? Oh, sir, yes, please come forward. Would you also please sign in and spell your name for the secretary?
My name is Michael Borquez. That's B as in boy, O-R-Q-U-E, Z as in zebra. I live at 1806 Miller, is catty corner to Sierra's house.
Would you please raise your right hand? Do you,
More than happy to. More than happy to.
very fine. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God in this matter?
I do.
Thank you.
Okay.
Can you speak, go in front of this microphone? I think they'll pick it up better.
Not a
Thank you.
Our concern is we're slowly but surely having what I call a little bit of ghettoization of our neighborhood. Now, I don't think that a fence of the type she just described is that kind of problem. At one point, you agreed to have a cyclone fence put up 1 block away in somebody's actual front yard. And now it makes the yard and the neighborhood look kind of ghetto-y. But what I would like to see is something similar to the fence that is on one side of Sierra's house. It's a plastic fence. My concern then is that her property sits at an angle. At one end, I would say 6 foot's very appropriate, but at the other end, 4 foot's probably even more appropriate as far as aesthetics to make the property look good. By doing so, I don't know if you, like you said, I don't know if you can get the picture back up, but I could,
I think they can do that, yes. Hang on one sec.
Okay.
This one or the other one with the pen? Or this has the pen on the right?
Yeah, actually, this gives you a good example of how the property slopes down. At the top end here is the area where I would say probably about 4 foot. And as you go all the way down to where that tree is, and just beyond that, 6 foot would probably be most appropriate, my size. I would, like I said, I would prefer to have a plastic fence, but a regular fence would be fine. And I would also agree that maybe something like the 50-50 fence that is in the municipality's rules and regulations would work. In other words, every other slat would be missing, I believe is how that is the best way to describe that.
Okay.
I was okay, now this is the other end, it's the deep end where the 6 foot fence down by this little building going that way to 4 foot later on.
Now, is there poly fence beyond that, past that shed, to the left of the shed? Is
Yes.
that the neighbors, or?
Yes, the neighbor's poly fence you can see behind it there. And their dog is this big. I don't think you'd attack the pigs. Beyond that, if she'd been asking for a wall, I'd be fighting you tooth and nail, and no walls. A fence, like I said, an appropriate fence, I think would be okay. Again, maybe 4 foot at one end, 6 foot at the other end as it goes.
Would you agree that the fence she's requesting is going to be better looking than the pen that's currently erected?
I would say yes.
Okay.
I would say that, yes, most definitely, that would look much better. And aesthetically, it would be, nicer too. And that's it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.
Board members, any questions? Paul, have we had anything from any neighbors in writing, or,
Is there anybody else?
oh, is there anybody else? They're debating? You go. No. Would you also please sign in?
Yeah.
State your name and spell it for the secretary.
Melissa Scott, Melissa Scott.
And Melissa, would you please raise your right hand, repeat? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God in this matter?
I do.
Thank you.
We live right behind Sierra, my husband and I. So that's our view, that would be a 6-foot solid fence would be our view then from our yard. And my father lives you can see his house in the one picture. He lives right next to them. So it would also be his view. We have no ill will or animosity about Sierra having pigs, but the fence, we live on the James Street side of the alley. Everyone on that side uses their yards, their backyards, as their main entrance. So to us, that is our actual front yard. And I just think a 6-foot solid fence is gonna look terrible. And I think that the ordinance is there for a reason. I mean, the pigs are there, we occasionally can smell them, but it's not a big deal, it hasn't been a problem. But I don't know if they're in the entire yard, if that would be a problem, but we just are opposed to a 6-foot solid fence.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Anyone else wish to speak?
I would maybe ask the applicant, since we've had 2 people in opposition, would you be in favor of maybe putting a row of hedges along Miller Alley in front of the fence to help, so it doesn't look just like a 6-foot solid fence? Maybe have 4-foot tall shrubs and then 2 feet of fence sticking up above that?
Yeah, I wouldn't have a problem with that.
Any,
Another option that I would throw out there is we've seen people that have these poly fences, there's like 4 foot that are solid, and then there's like a lattice work in the top that doesn't look so industrial. I'm not sure if you've shopped for your fence yet, or if you're set on getting the pine fence that you mentioned before.
Do you want me to come
Yes.
there?
Sure.
I was partial to the pine fence because it is a little sturdier. I mean, they're generally fine in the yard, but like every animal, sometimes they want to poke at the fence, and their snouts are very strong. So I would just, I think that the pine fence would be sturdier than the poly fence, which is why I was more partial to that. I'm not sure exactly how the plastic fence would hold up. But I would prefer a plastic 6-foot fence over a 50% 4-foot fence of any kind.
Well, I was suggesting a still 6-foot fence, but 4 foot would be solid on the base and something latticey on the top. Not as private for you from the other side, but not as obtrusive for the neighbors staring at solid mass. And also what Paul was suggesting as far as the hedgerow or something like that, just to break up the look.
Yeah, I think those would definitely be options.
Okay, just so I understand, you're saying that would be okay. Are you prepared to put on the record, under oath, that you will put a row of hedges in front of the fence, and that you'll take steps to modify the last 2 feet of the 6-foot fence to make it a little more decorative than just a solid fence?
If I can't have, I would be more willing to do the hedges, I think, or.
Hedges with the
really,
solid?
I would prefer the pine fence. I'm not sure if there's like a way that they have like the lattice on top for the pine fence. I haven't really looked that far into it. But, I don't know if the plastic is gonna work. I would be worried about that.
What kind of fence do you have in the front of the house?
There's no fence in the
There's no
front.
fence there at all. Let me ask you a question on this here. Would you be opposed to only putting the fence halfway instead of you doing the whole front and back of the house? Both sides, all the way around the property?
No, it would be just in my back and nothing in the front still.
Okay. So this picture that we have,
There might be more than one picture. If you
yeah,
had,
there's 2 pictures. We have one with a red square. The other one has a red square with 2 black lines in the middle
yeah,
of the house.
that's the one showing the fence. The black line would be the fence.
Okay, so.
So it
all right.
starts in the middle of the house towards Miller Avenue.
Okay, all right, I understand.
Yeah, so, what I'm saying is I would prefer to be approved for just the whole 6-foot fence, but if need be, then I would be okay with doing the second 2 feet less solid and perhaps the hedges as well, if necessary.
Are there other pine fences in your neighborhood?
I'm not sure. I don't.
Maybe.
My house is pretty much right there, so I don't really drive around the neighborhood very much.
Okay.
Are there any site issues coming down Miller if the fence goes up 6 feet with coming in and out of people's driveways or coming down? Any kind of line of sight issues?
I wouldn't say that what is in my yard should be a problem with anybody in their driveway or driving on the road.
Is there somebody else that want to make a comment on? Sir? Just,
You need to come up,
yeah, you
sir.
have to come up.
My name's Joseph Scott. I live at 1832 James Street. It's JOSEPHSCOTT. And I'm the husband of Melissa, who just spoke previously. My concern with
Sir,
this...
hang on one second. Would you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth and nothing but the truth to help you God in this matter?
I do.
Thank you.
My concern with this is, we're setting precedent here. If you guys agree to do this, she's gonna have a big fence around the entire yard. The pigs are gonna roam everywhere. We're gonna be smelling the pigs. It seems like, just from hearing you guys talk, it sounds like maybe this is already approved. I hope that's not the case, but it just seems like, just hearing the various fences that you might suggest, this is approved.
Well, we're-
This is gonna impact my father-in-law, Wayne Griffith, who's lived in the neighborhood for like 55 years. It's gonna impact his view, getting out of his driveway, backing out. I would be agreeable to something, she has a big yard. It's a very big yard. There's a lower yard where the one neighbor with the plastic fence, the vinyl fence, where I would say, why not use half the yard to the right of your driveway, down in that section there, and keep it from the rest of the neighbors? Where Mike had suggested, it's more lower of a grade, the yard kind of slopes down to that white fence. So, but a big fence around the entire yard is gonna look ridiculous. It hasn't been approved for anyone else in the neighborhood. There are other fences, but they don't have the same situation as us. So, I don't agree to this at all.
Okay.
And I hope you guys take that into consideration.
Let me just state that we have not made our decision as of yet.
Yeah, but we're talking about various fences and what
We're giving options to her, sir.
We're looking
She's
to
not
see if there
willing
can be a
look at
compromise
things.
so that the neighbors could feel good about what she's able to do with her property.
I get it. We are putting up with, the pigs haven't been bad. Occasionally they'll get out and roam the neighborhood, and I agree. I want her pigs to be safe. I want them to enjoy, I mean, if they're permitted in Monroeville, then so be it. Let them be safe in enclosed area, but not the entire backyard. That's ridiculous. It's gonna block everyone's view. No one else in the neighborhood in that area there are chain link fences, but that's not blocking views, and that's for pets like a dog. A 6-foot stockade fence, that sounds what this is gonna be, I think is a little bit too much. And maybe, I'd be more agreeable to something, maybe using half the yard, down in the lower half where the fence already exists, the one neighbor, so that's my thoughts on this.
Thank you.
Okay.
Anyone else?
I do just want to mention on that, the reason that they have gotten out a few times is because they have that temporary fence, so once the solid fence is up, that should prevent that. And it should also, I apologize for any smell anyone's gotten. I've been really trying hard to control the urine smell, but since they're in such a small area, it's more concentrated, so that'll help once there's a bigger area as well.
Any other board members offer suggestions?
Is there a possibility of them talking about this before any kind of decisions made to see if there's other options?
Getting the neighbors together and with Sierra and working it out so that, and finding out what other type of fence options there are. I'm not a fence expert by any stretch, but do you have a contractor that you've talked to, or?
No, I was waiting to see what was approved because I didn't want to have people come out and give estimates for
Right.
8 different possibilities. I wouldn't be opposed to meeting with the neighbors and coming up with a compromise, so I do want it to be preferable for myself, but it is a really nice neighborhood, and all these neighbors are very nice, and I really don't want them to hate my yard either.
Very good.
I would like my neighbors to be liking me.
I think
Would you-
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
If you go up to Lowe's or Home Depot, I know they have packets, because a few months ago, a gentleman brought up a packet and had multiple fences. Have you met with your neighbor and sat down and talked to them, show them the options? But obviously, it's your choice. And work with your neighbors, because as you say, you want to be friendly with everyone and make sure everyone's on the same page. And one of the gentlemen's back there, I'm not sure if he's your direct neighbor, but you want to make sure you're not blocking his view of backing out of the driveway, make it safe for him as well.
And like you said about that bottom yard there, that could also be a possibility, and instead of just having it in the picture's not up there, in the back, more having it on the side.
because as it runs up the alley.
You have to come up to the microphone, sir, if you're going to speak.
He's bringing a picture up right now to show.
As it run,
Wait till it comes up on the monitor. Give him a second, he'll zoom in on it. Okay, zoom in. I'm gonna get a little tighter here. All right, so this is Miller Avenue,
Okay,
Miller
so,
Alley, James Street.
so this is my father-in-law's house, right here. This is my house, Mike and Liz are over here. This, I'm agreeable to, like, using like half the yard down here. This is a
Like the
lower,
garage-
it's,
Garage back.
yeah, it slopes down, it's lower. Now, the Viscs aren't here. If they wanted to speak, they should have showed up, I guess, and maybe it's not a concern of theirs. But using this half of the yard, instead of the entire backyard, I think that's sort of ridiculous and over the top. As that fence comes up that alley, it is gonna be sticking out like a sore thumb, and it's just gonna look ridiculous. It's gonna be like a solid wall for all the neighbors who live here, 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 and here. So, just my thoughts on that.
I'd like to make a suggestion that we consider tabling this motion, not voting on it, because if we do, then, some folks are going to be happy, some people are going to be unhappy. And if you, Sarah, would be willing to talk to the neighbors and talk to contractors, fence contractors, and figure out even the dimensions, and Paul can help you out as far as, realigning and whatever we have to do to change the paperwork.
Yeah, I think that would be great.
Okay, so that's in the form of a motion. Is there a second to that?
I'll second it.
Second.
All in favor of tabling this matter, say aye.
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 Any opposed?
So the record will remain open on this matter until next month, at which time we'll be making a decision. So it's in everybody's best interest to meet with the applicant and Paul, and let Paul be the kind of the ombudsman arbitrator, and see if there's a way to work it out so everybody feels more comfortable with the circumstances. So the matter is now tabled till next month. We voted on it, correct?
Yes.
And we will address this at our next regular meeting, which again is the first Wednesday of September.
Okay. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. Paul, next item?
Anybody who was here for the first item, feel free to leave. We're going to move on to the next one.
Your contact information on the website.
Yeah. You want a business card?
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Good night.
Have a good night.
Paul, item 2?
Item number 2, 22-24-A, Greg Morelli. Applicant requests a dimensional variance from section 207.3 lot and yard requirements of the Monroeville zoning ordinance number 1443 as amended to install a 14-foot by 28-foot carport that will encroach approximately 20 feet into the required 30-foot front yard setback for accessory structures. The property is located at 403 Center Road, tax parcel 855F378 in the R2 one-family zoning district, and this is also a corner lot.
Very fine, thank you. Applicant present, please? Please come forward. Sign in, state and spell your name for the secretary, please.
Greg Morelli, Gregmorelli.
Thank you. Sir, would you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth and nothing but the truth to help you out in this matter?
I did.
Thank you. State your case.
I just been in Monroeville 9 years as of yesterday. I purchased my home, I'm single. I try to, update everything and make it look beautiful. I do a lot of work on it. I recently retired because I had a bad fall. I worked for North Allegheny School District for a long time, city of Pittsburgh, and then actually fell at Gateway High School. I transferred from North Allegheny to there, which is close to my home, to retire in '62. I just turned 60. So I got my retirement, bought myself a car, and I don't have nowhere to put it. So rather than letting it depreciate, I wanted to put up a carport, but I didn't want to put up a cheap one, something with an A-frame and just metal posts. Usually they have 4 on each side. So I looked into getting something that matches my house. So it's exact same. If you look, this is it right here. I'm not sure if everybody has
You
that.
can put that on the X.
Okay. This is exactly what it looks like. So originally I was thinking about a garage, but I like the view. I have a nice yard. I work hard on it. So that would be fine. In the wintertime, we have 3 or 4 bad months. Park the car in there, cover it up. I also may look into putting a pool in the future. My grandkids come out once in a while. It would serve as a shelter on the one side, and then a carport. I could pull the car on the other side. Have maybe a picnic table on the one side, and enjoy my outside because, like I said, I do a lot of work on it. I even went the extra mile to get something that matches exactly my house. It's white, brown, and my shed too in the backyard. I don't know if there's pictures of everything there.
There
We
are.
have aerial views, we have a picture that you just showed there, and we have a picture of the slab that was,
Oh, yeah, we just put that in. I think it was June 21st.
There's a picture up on a monitor now.
Oh, okay, here you go. So from the street to the corner of the white concrete is 19 feet, 10 inches. But another foot and 3 inches in will be so it's actually 21 and a half feet to where the corner would be of the shelter carport. And I did it this way because it's not going to obstruct anybody's view, not my neighbors. I actually have consent forms from my neighbors. I get along with them all, and they all wrote something here on my behalf. And I have my immediate next door neighbor that sits right behind me here. He's here. And Tim also is a friend of mine. He goes by all the time. I have people stop all the time, I mean, every day, and tell me how they appreciate how much work I've put into this place. Now, the last thing I would want to do is put up something that is an eyesore, isn't appealing to the rest of the neighborhood. I actually think I've encouraged people to spruce up their places, which, it's not up to me. But as far as this is concerned, I did go the extra mile. I didn't want to just put up something that was, shoddy. I would like to apologize because I did make one mistake. I kind of put the cart ahead of the horse. This is my first time ever doing this.
I think you already bought the shed, didn't you?
Huh?
You already bought
I
the shed.
put down, down payment, I think it was on like $1,400, so that's not refundable.
Okay.
And the concrete was like 55 and change. So, I'm learning as I go. I'm not saying.
we all are.
Yeah.
Are there any
So-
door possibilities? Can doors be placed on this, or?
In the future, yeah. The openings are big because I wasn't sure if it was all closed in, that would be a problem. In my head, that's what I thought, as opposed, because I know people, you don't want to block sites. Being it sits from the intersection, you don't want to block. That's a bad intersection, by the way. We have a lot of accidents there. I've been there 9 years, and I guarantee there's, on average, 2 a month, so. But anyways, I try to follow all the guidelines. Once I met Paul, and he kind of put me on the right track to what I need to do. Hopefully, I fulfilled all that. And the build hasn't started until I would get a permit.
What kind of options of garage doors would you be able to have? Could you do like a sliding one up so you could be able to view straight through?
I would probably, if it came to that, and I don't get a pool in the future, people are telling me it's a lot of work.
They are.
Yeah, I don't need any more work. Like I said, I'm single, and it's a lot of work by yourself. But I would close the back end and have 2 doors on the driveway side. If I ever did that, that would be my plan. And the builder told me it's possible. The only thing is, you're gonna pay more money again,
Yeah, right.
instead of doing it at first.
Yeah.
But I like sitting out, on a picnic bench, sit out and just look and see the neighbors. And
Okay.
my mom used to live next door. My dad died when I was young, and my mom moved in there like 27 years ago. Well, she got sick. I moved in there to, have a relationship with my mom. She got sick with dementia, and she passed away 3 years ago.
Sorry
But
to
I
hear that.
decided to stay and fix it up. I'm not that young anymore.
Board member, is that all you have, sir?
That's all.
All right, thank you. Any board members? Questions?
Is there a difference if it's considered a carport versus if he was gonna use it, if you put a pool in, use it as a picnic area? I mean, there's no,
No, it'd still be an accessory structure.
so it doesn't matter what the
Yeah.
use is of it.
Jared, if we can go back to the overhead camera of what's on the desktop up there. Okay, so the picture may be misleading. There's 2 openings.
Yeah.
2 bays, right?
That third gray up and down is on the back side.
Yep.
Yes.
Correct.
This perspective.
So those 2 doors, are they
I don't
facing
have,
the,
I didn't buy any
well,
doors.
the openings, the two openings.
Yeah.
Are they facing the driveway or are they facing Logan's Ferry?
Okay, the one side that's closed is Logan's Ferry Road and my bushes.
Yep.
Then you'd come in and it's open to my yard and his yard. And then same way, driveway side for the second opening, and it's open, you know, all the way through.
I just wanted to clarify that the short side of the structure
Yeah.
is towards Logan's Ferry.
Yeah,
not-
that's
not the
Logan's
long
Ferry,
side.
and this closed side's my house side.
You anticipate putting any utilities in this structure?
Not really.
Okay.
Picnic bench, maybe.
Paul, any complaints for anybody?
No, as the applicant has stated, there are 3 letters of support in favor of it.
Okay, so you'll make those part of the record, those 3 letters that are supportive of the application.
Next time I do anything, which I'm probably not going to, this should be all I need to do, I will come see him first. And
That's a good idea.
I was a little worried I'm gonna lose my down payment, you know.
Nothing else? Any, hear a motion?
I'll make the motion to approve.
You have a second, please.
I'll second it.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries.
Yes.
Congratulations. I didn't
luck.
need to hear from you guys.
That's it.
Good.
You're good.
When do you plan on putting it up?
It'll take, so I'll submit the permit, I'll send it to them, and once they see that, it's 3 weeks.
Okay.
Now, I know they didn't start, you know, because they want to see the permit, but it's a 3-week from the time you do it.
We'll be over for the first picnic.
Well, I was trying to get it done for 4th of July. Now I'm hoping I have my Halloween party. I have one party a year, it's Halloween.
You got plenty of time before 4th of July.
I was gonna say, if you know anything's going on,
Yeah.
getting supplies. is
Maybe
very
now I could
difficult.
do Labor Day or something.
All right.
Right, Dave?
Good luck. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you, guys. Good luck.
Good luck.
Get your paperwork.
No other business? We have a motion, final motion.
I appreciate it.
You're
You're
welcome.
welcome.
Motion to adjourn?
You have a second?
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
This meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much.
With the tree?